Okay, so I need to be honest with you about something. Tomorrow's full moon isn't just another lunar event, and I really think if you're not prepared for what's coming, you might miss one of the most transformative moments of the entire year. On January 3rd, at exactly 2:03 a.m. Pacific time, the moon reaches its peak fullness in Cancer, and here's what's getting my attention. This isn't happening alone. Jupiter is right there with it, exalted in Cancer, basically turning the emotional volume up to 11, and Mercury, it's retrograde in Capricorn, literally pulling messages from your past straight into your present. But here's the thing that's really been sitting with me. I've been feeling this energy building for days now. That heaviness in your chest, that random urge to cry over nothing, that weird feeling like someone's about to reach out to you. You're not imagining any of it, and you're definitely not alone in this. Now, if you've been having incredibly vivid dreams lately, especially about people from your past, stay with me on this one. There's a very specific astrological reason that's happening, and I'm going to break it down for you in a minute. But first, I really need you to understand something. This full moon is creating what I'd call an emotional portal, and I genuinely believe that how you navigate the next 48 hours could completely change the trajectory of your year. Because this isn't just about feeling things deeply, it's about finally understanding why certain patterns keep repeating in your life. And honestly, that was a huge realization for me when I started looking at this lunar event. You're about to have the biggest cry of your life, and that's actually the point. So here's something I've been noticing, and maybe you have too. The closer we get to this full moon, the more it feels like there's this massive wave of emotion building inside you, like you're carrying an ocean in your chest, and the dam is about to break. And if you've been trying to hold it together, trying to stay strong, trying to keep that Capricorn season stoicism going, I really want you to hear this. Tomorrow, that's not going to work anymore. The moon in Cancer is already powerful on its own. It's in its home sign where it's strongest. But with Jupiter right there, Jupiter doesn't do anything small. It expands everything it touches. So when it's sitting with the moon in Cancer, we're not talking about a few tears, we're talking about a complete emotional release. Here's what I think is happening, and I've been feeling this myself. You've been carrying grief, love, disappointment, or just unexpressed emotion for way longer than you realize. Maybe months, maybe years. And your body has been holding all of it, storing it because you haven't felt safe enough to let it out. But tomorrow, the universe is basically creating the perfect conditions for what I'd call an emotional purge, and I know that might sound intense, but here's the beautiful part. Jupiter is the great benefic. It's protective. So this isn't a breakdown. I really believe it's a breakthrough. You might find yourself crying in your car, or in the shower, or just randomly while making coffee, and when it happens, don't fight it. Because this isn't weakness. This is your system finally releasing what's been weighing you down. It's like your soul is doing a massive clean-out to make space for what's coming next. And here's what really gets me. After this release, after this purge, you're going to feel so much lighter, like you can breathe again, like you can finally hear yourself think. Because all that emotional static that's been clouding your judgment, it's clearing out, but that's just the first breakthrough. What comes next is even more powerful. Someone from your past has been thinking about you, and they're about to make contact. This is where things get really interesting. Mercury is retrograde in Capricorn right now, and it's doing something very specific. It's excavating the past. But not just any past. I'm talking about the people who held significance in your life, the ones who shaped you, changed you, or left before things were properly resolved. And here's the part that gave me chills when I realized it. Mercury is squaring Neptune right now. Neptune rules dreams, telepathy, and those unexplainable psychic connections. So the message that's coming, it might not arrive the way you expect. You might have a dream about them first, like a vivid dream where they're trying to tell you something important, or you might just randomly think about them out of nowhere, and then boom, they reach out. A text, a call. Maybe they just show up in your life somehow. Has anyone been on your mind lately that you haven't heard from in a while? Here's what I really believe is happening. This isn't random. This person has been feeling the same pull you have. They've probably been thinking about reaching out for weeks, maybe longer. But the energy of this full moon, combined with Mercury retrograde, is basically forcing the message through. Now, I want to be clear about something. This message isn't necessarily about getting back together or rekindling what was. I think it's about closure. It's about finally saying what needs to be said. It's about clearing the energetic debt between you so you can both move forward. The timing is so specific too. Mercury went retrograde on December 29th, right before the new year. It's like the universe is saying, before you move into this new chapter, you need to close the old one properly. And this full moon is the cosmic deadline for that conversation to happen. Some of you might get a message that completely surprises you, maybe an apology you never thought you'd receive, maybe an explanation that finally makes everything make sense, or maybe just a simple acknowledgement that what you shared mattered. And honestly, sometimes that's all we need to finally let go, right? But here's the thing I really want you to understand. If this message comes through a dream or a strange synchronicity, don't dismiss it. The Mercury-Neptune square is thinning the veil between the conscious and subconscious. The message might feel more like a download than a conversation. Trust what you receive, even if it doesn't make logical sense at first. Your emotional armor is coming off, and you're about to discover who you really are underneath. Okay, so this third breakthrough, this is the big one, and I think it's going to completely change how you see yourself. You know how Capricorn season is all about achievement, structure, keeping it together, being professional, being strong, not showing weakness? Well, tomorrow's full moon in Cancer is basically the opposite of all that. It's saying, enough, the armor comes off now. And here's what's interesting about the astrology. The moon is at 13 degrees Cancer, and the Sabian symbol for this degree is a hand with a prominent thumb. Now, that might sound random, but stay with me. The thumb represents willpower, character, your ability to grasp your life and shape it. So while you're having this massive emotional experience, while you're feeling more vulnerable than ever, you're also discovering something powerful. Your emotions are your strength. Your vulnerability is your power. Does that make sense? I think so many of us have been taught that emotions make us weak, that feeling deeply is somehow less valuable than thinking logically. But this full moon is flipping that completely. It's showing you that your ability to feel, to empathize, to connect emotionally, that's not a weakness you need to hide. That's literally your superpower. And with Jupiter there, amplifying everything, you're not just feeling your emotions, you're finally understanding their purpose. Every tear, every wave of feeling, every moment of vulnerability is actually expanding your capacity to experience life fully. You're not breaking down, you're breaking open. Here's what I've been realizing myself. We've been carrying this Capricorn armor for so long that we forgot it wasn't part of us. It was just something we put on to survive, to fit in, to meet expectations. But underneath that armor, there's this incredibly powerful, intuitive, emotionally intelligent being who's been waiting to emerge. And that Chiron station in Aries that's happening right after the full moon, that's about healing the wound of I'm not enough, or I don't have the right to exist as I truly am. This full moon is basically saying, you are enough. Your emotions are valid. Your sensitivity is a gift. Stop apologizing for who you are. The next 48 hours are going to feel like a lifetime. Here's how to navigate them. So if you're wondering what to actually do with all this energy, I want to give you something practical, because while the cosmic stuff is fascinating, you still have to live through this, right? First thing, tomorrow morning when you wake up, pay attention to how you feel before you check your phone, that first moment of consciousness. That's when you're most connected to what this full moon is trying to tell you. You might wake up with a knowing, a feeling, or even a specific person on your mind. Trust that. Between now and the full moon peak, you might feel this building pressure, like something needs to be said or done, but you're not sure what. That's the Mercury retrograde influence. The message is trying to come through, but it's not clear yet. Don't force it. Just stay open. And here's something really important. If emotions start flooding in, don't try to make sense of them. I know that's hard, especially if you're someone who likes to understand everything. But Cancer moon emotions don't follow logic. They follow a deeper wisdom. Let them move through you without trying to analyze why you're crying about that thing from 5 years ago. If someone from your past does reach out, and I really think they will for many of you, take your time responding. Mercury retrograde means communication can be messy. Misunderstandings are more likely. So feel into what you want to say before you say it. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being true. And please be gentle with yourself. This kind of emotional intensity can be exhausting. Your body might feel heavy. You might need more sleep. You might cry at commercials. That's all normal. You're not falling apart. You're reorganizing at a cellular level. This is your emotional renaissance. Don't miss it. Here's what I really want you to understand about tomorrow's full moon. This isn't happening to you. It's happening for you. Every emotion that surfaces, every message that arrives, every breakthrough you experience, it's all perfectly orchestrated to move you into who you're becoming this year. The Cancer-Capricorn axis is asking you a fundamental question. Can you be successful and soft? Can you achieve your goals and honor your feelings? Can you be strong and vulnerable? And the answer this full moon is giving is yes. Not only can you be both, you must be both to be whole. That prominent thumb in the Sabian symbol, that's you learning to grasp your emotions with the same determination you use to grasp your ambitions. It's you saying, I feel this deeply, and I stand by it. No more apologizing, no more hiding, no more pretending you're fine when you're not. And that message from the past, whether it comes through a dream, a text, or a random encounter, it's arriving to free you from an old story. You've been carrying someone else's chapter in your book for too long. Tomorrow's full moon is helping you finally close it, so you can write what comes next. The Jupiter influence means this is all happening under divine protection. You're safe to feel everything. You're safe to release everything. You're safe to transform completely. This isn't chaos. It's cosmic support at the highest level. And honestly, I think the people who are willing to dive deep into this full moon, who don't resist the emotions or the messages, who let themselves be transformed, those are the people who are going to look back on January 3rd as the day everything changed. The day they stopped pretending and started being. The day they discovered that their sensitivity wasn't something to overcome. It was their pathway to power. So tomorrow, when the moon reaches its fullness in Cancer, when Jupiter amplifies every feeling, when Mercury delivers that message from the past, remember this. You're not just having an emotional experience. You're having an awakening. You're reclaiming parts of yourself you thought were lost. You're discovering that everything you've been through has prepared you for exactly this moment. And that breakthrough you've been waiting for? It's not coming from outside of you. It's coming from within, rising up like a tide that can't be stopped. Because this full moon isn't just illuminating the sky, it's illuminating everything you've kept hidden, even from yourself. All right, if you're still here with me, thank you so much. If this resonated with you and you want to see more content like this, I'd really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. It genuinely helps more than you know. And please drop a comment below. I really want to hear what comes up for you during this full moon. What emotions surface? Who reaches out? What breakthroughs happen? I read every single comment, and I love seeing how these energies play out for all of us. Take care of yourself over the next few days. Be gentle with your heart, and I'll see you in the next one.